Man, I was so surprised today. It's been since our graduation ceremony at college since you and I last saw one another, and for me to run into you again is just wow. By the way, you started working at the bank after you graduated, right? Well, I never knew you were working at that bank of all places. I was just as shocked as you today. I never thought I'd be running into someone I knew from college today at work. From what I heard through other people, you happened to get married right after you graduated, right? You already know that one to be true, Cindy. After all, the man I married happened to be your ex-boyfriend, Jackson. It's because of me stealing him from you back in the day that I'm able to be happy all the time with him. Thank you so much for that, by the way. Huh? But listen, I've been worried about you this whole time, Cindy. You really loved Jackson back then, and I didn't know what kinds of things stealing him from you would do. You ended up taking time off school after you found out I was the one that took him from you, right? I'm glad to see that after something as tragic as that, you were able to get yourself a job and are working. Stop talking about all of that like it wasn't a huge problem. What the heck do you mean you've been worried about me all this time? No way you've been. I've been more worried about you because of how mentally unstable you are. What? I am still not over what happened back then between you and I. I had always thought of you as my number one friend, then yet, because of that sadness and hatred I felt after you took my boyfriend, I was never able to get over it. Stop trying to act like you're still a victim to that. Back then, I was just young and made a mistake. I was jealous of you because you had gotten yourself a man that works for a huge company, and I really wanted him for myself. And that's why I began to make myself a little closer to him, if you know what I mean. Well, it's because of me and my beauty that I was able to keep him, and right after graduation ceremony, him and I got married. And right after being cheated on by my boyfriend and having my best friend end up being the one doing so with him, I left the two of you behind and started to work on finding myself a proper job. However, while that was all going on, you continued to harass me with comments about how you didn't need to find work because you had a rich man by your side now. I am really so happy I married Jackson. He's able to bring in a ton of money for me, and I never have to leave anything too for anything besides leisure. And when it comes to things like chores, he says I don't even have to worry about them. All he wants from me is me at his side, as that what makes him happy. Oh, that's so amazing for you. But, as I was thinking, never having anything to do really leads to one becoming bored, right? As that's why I've gone out and made myself a business. I'll be going from a housewife to one of the best business owners in the city. You're going to become a business owner? I want to make myself a salon where I can get other women like me who have a lot of free time on their hands to come work. And I'll make sure that they are taught how to treat really high-end models and rich older women's hair. That way I can make millions. That's why I ended up going to the bank today to get some financial support, and you happened to be there. I was laughing my butt off at that time. Someone like you ended up as a single woman and now have to spend every day of your life working to support yourself, right? Huh? Your last name hasn't even changed yet, so that means you don't have a husband, right? Could this be because you still can't get Jackson off your mind? I'm sorry, but I'm married right now. My husband happened to take my last name, and so that's why my name has not changed at all. You're lying. Someone that had their boyfriend stolen from them from right under the nose has a husband now? Well, I suppose there are men in this world more hopeless than you. I'm sure that he has nothing special about himself, and that's why you settled from him, right? That's not true at all. He cares a lot about his career and is someone I can count on quite often. Actually, he happens to be a department manager for the company he's working for. What? A department manager? I actually married him after we both met working in this bank. Hold it! You stop right there. To be a department manager at a large bank like that would mean he's kind of an elite, right? The fact that you were able to land a husband with such an amazing job and income as that, I can't fathom. Now, I'm really busy with work still. See you. I hope you can get that business of yours rolling.
Cindy, come and help me. What the hell is up with this friend of yours?
Huh? What's going on with you?
Just a bit ago, she came in saying that she plans to start a business of her own and that she'd like some financial support with it. I asked for another one of my employees to handle that for me, to start looking into her history and all that to see if we could accept her and let her get a loan through us. And just after talking for a bit through my employee and settling the conversation, we thought she'd gone home. But she's back again, and now she's asking to speak directly to me. She keeps saying that she's friends with my wife, and it means I have to give her money right away.
What? Does her name happen to be Tiffany by any chance?
That's right, that's her. I tried to handle the situation myself, but she's asking me more about my private life than actually wanted to talk about business.
Huh?
She's asking me whether or not I'm getting tired of being married to you. And she's asked me many times now what types of women I like. What the hell does she want from me, this woman? Actually, do you really happen to have a friend as vulgar and stupid as this woman?
Well, I did have a friend like that at one point, but not anymore. I'm sorry that you've had to deal with her when you're so busy. She happened to be in the same class as me back in college, but there was a lot that happened and now I don't talk to her anymore. But actually, she ran into me today when I was walking into work.
There was a lot that happened between you two? She must be that really crazy chick you told me about before, right?
She happened to be that girl that stole my boyfriend from me while I was dating him.
She stole your boyfriend?
And because of that, she's been able to enjoy a really relaxing life as a housewife with him. Well, she just kept going on and on about how amazing her life is and bragging to me that I told her I had to go. But before saying so to her, I wanted to get back at all her bragging a little and told her that my husband happens to be the department manager here.
So that's how she became aware of me then.
You really don't have to worry about this anymore and get right back to work. If it doesn't look like you can finance her business for her, then just tell it to her straight.
Oh, I'm definitely not financing her. It already seems like the business she wants me to finance for her is a little vague. But there are also some other things in her past that are stopping me. Are you sure that woman is really married right now? Because the background check...
What do you mean by that?
When it comes to us wanting to start supporting someone with opening a business, we first need to know about the money they have currently. But she told me that with the amount her husband makes every month, we shouldn't have to look at her account balance and everything. And after that, all she continued to do was try and force us to look over her husband's income. The problem here is, the income statement from her husband is from 5 years ago.
5 years ago? That's not going to help her get her funding at all, right?
I told her for the time being that it might be a little difficult for us to get her any money. But then she asked me what she could do to get me to give her funding from the bank. She kept begging me to tell her what she could do, and then she handed me her number and walked out.
Huh?
Of course, right after getting it from her, I threw it away. But seriously, something about all of this isn't right.
She came into the bank asking for money, but the only way to prove she was financially stable was her husband's income statement from 5 years ago. I thought I had seen it all working for the bank, but that right there is just wild. If she really happens to have a husband that can make enough money for her to stay home all day, then why can't he fund her new business?
I don't understand why that isn't happening either, because that seems like a way easier option for her.
Do you want me to take over this problem for you? I'm really sorry all of this ended up on your plate, but I'd really like to handle it before things get out of hand, and she comes after you.
Huh? Are you sure you're okay with that? Aren't you busy yourself? You just became this bank's executive this year, right? So you have so much you need to do already. Having to take on the work I should be handling is not something that'll go over well with your workload, right?
No worries, Martin. I'm actually quite embarrassed that someone from back in my school days has come back and caused my husband all kinds of trouble. I'll deal with Tiffany from now on, so if she comes in again, send her to me. And if she's come asking about the financial support she'd like again, tell me. I'm sorry, Cindy. It looks like as though this time I've gone and stolen your husband from you. Uh-huh? To think that you'd actually have a husband that's the department manager for a huge bank like that. I've been so jealous of you being married to an elite like him. It's driven me nuts. That's why, like last time. This time, he's mine. What are you going on about? My husband has no reason to be cheating on me with a woman like you. My husband actually happens to love me very much and is straightforward enough where if he stopped having feelings for me, he'd say so. I'm sure this is all hard for you to believe, but he's gone and chosen me now. He had been saying no to all of my advances for a little while now, but finally, today he said he's going to go out with me, and now we're going out to a bar together. The fact that he's willing to go out with me to a bar at night just goes to show that he's completely fallen for me. He's already forgotten about you, and I'm hoping tonight we can make that official by taking things to a hotel room. What? You think him saying yes to going out with you tonight to a bar is him showing that he no longer loves me? Well, would he ever go out with another woman one-on-one for drinks that late night in the evening? In other words, this all shows that he does not care about you as his wife anymore. He's only focused on me now. Well, even if that were to be the case, don't you have a husband yourself? Do you plan to stab Jackson in the back now? Of course I do. I'm going to hop off his slow train and onto your husband's luxurious and fast one. Really? He may be working for a very large company and all, but him making it to the top is going to take forever. Compared to him, your husband is by far the better choice for me. At the age he's at, he's already managed a position as the department manager for a bank that popular. I need him to be mine right now. He will definitely be the perfect choice as my next lover. Man, I feel so bad for poor old Jackson then. And also, since I'll become the wife of a department manager at the bank, I'll be able to get my funding for my bank, no questions asked. That means I'll have my business up and running in no time. No bank is ever going to offer financing like that to another family member. This bank is far from that kind of practice and will make sure you go through the same process as everyone else. Shut the hell up! All you are is a base-level employee there and know nothing about that bank's practices. What? Compared to your husband, you'll never move up in that bank, so you're better off just shutting up and letting all this play out. You won't be able to do anything about us in your position anyway, as your husband is currently the department manager and he might soon fire you. And actually, since you've already lost to me again, go ahead and start working on those divorce papers and hurry up all this for me. That man is now mine and I'll have access to all of his money. Do you have any idea who I am? Huh? I guess you have no reason knowing who I am since you're just a loser. You were even able to take a good look at who I was walking into the bank last month, and yet you still have no clue about me. Hold on now. You have no right making fun of me now when you're still a low-level employee there. I'm just calling an idiot an idiot. What's so wrong with me doing something as correct as that? You think that I'm actually a simple employee here? I'm above my own husband in this company as I'm the company executive for this bank. I happen to have a lot more difficult of a job than he even has, and in return for that, I literally am making the bank. So you really have no place calling someone like me a low-level employee. What? The company executive? What is that position? Oh my god, I'm so sorry. An idiot like you would never be able to understand what someone in my position is. Banks area actually run a little differently than your average companies when it comes to business. When you talk about department managers in banks, they are actually the branch manager, and the person above them that directs everything is called the company executive or just the executive. And so by what you've told me, you're actually the executive for that bank? That's right. Yet you said I can't do what my husband, the branch manager, is able to do? How hilarious! There's no way he's able to do anything without my approval first. I have more rights than anyone in this bank after all. Huh? And when you've told me that you've gone and stolen my husband from me and everything, I have to say I'm sorry for you. You think my husband would ever throw someone like me who's making so much money right now away for someone with no money? Today I'm going out to dinner with my husband as it's actually the day of our wedding anniversary. Your guys' wedding anniversary? Yeah. Today, we have been married to one another for 3 years now, and that's why we're going out to dinner to celebrate. You think he'd really want to go out to you on a bar on an important day like this? But he said he wanted to go out with me tonight to the bar. He told me he'd be waiting for me there and everything. He was the one that messaged me and everything about our date plans. I don't care about the fact that you're some kind of executive, because that means nothing when you're about to lose your husband.
So this is who my wife's been talking to. When did I ever say to you that I'd be going out to the bar tonight with you? It's disgusting that you'd even think that of a married man, so stop with your crap.
Huh?
It's been a little while, right? I'm Cindy's husband, Martin, if you couldn't already tell.
Martin, why would he say all of this is disgusting to you? You were the one that said yes to going out on this date with me tonight, right? You told me that you'd be waiting at Freezy's bar just downtown for me.
I told you to never talk to me about anything else ever again, and said for you to always remember what I said to you. The only thing I said yes to you about was having you come to that bar tonight, at the place we're having dinner, so that I can show you how much I love Cindy.
What? You plan to show me something like that?
I've told you so many times to shut the hell up and leave me alone, yet every time you come back saying you're a better woman than my wife. And then you follow that up with asking me whether or not I'm tired of Cindy yet. You have kept all of that up for so long that it's really drove me up a wall. But look, Tiffany, I don't like that you have my wife involved in all this still, when she has a lot of work to focus on. So that's why I said we could go out tonight and that you could meet me at the restaurant and bar to see me with the woman that I love. I was surely hoping after seeing that you'd give up. That's the reason for me saying yes to you wanting to go on a date, and that's why I've been waiting.
That's what's going on? None of that was about you wanting to actually go on a date with me? And you're going to tell me that you didn't fall for my beauty?
What about you was so beautiful again? Don't say something so embarrassing about yourself like that, please.
Uh-huh.
I really like myself a woman that puts all her effort into her work like my wife. I find that kind of thing beautiful about my wife, and it gets me to love her so much. But comparing her to someone that thinks it's okay to steal men from other women and then openly flaunt about it? No way in hell. Not happening. To me, nothing about that is beautiful.
Huh?
I do find your drive to open your own business really cool. But the fact that you don't have any money and ask for a lot, and don't even have any experience in the field? You really think you can get financing from us just like that? You told me you wanted all your employees to have wonderful manners and skills for the job so that you could cater to celebrities and such. But look at you. No manners whatsoever. You've been digging into my wife, trying to make yourself look better than her by talking all this talk for so long, but have nothing to show for it yet. Do you think any bank is going to want to lend you any of their money?
What? There have got to be women that want to come work for me and learn about how to take care of people with lots of money, right? Stop making fun of me in my dream to become one of the best business owners in the city.
You do have a good point. There are things in this world that you will never know about unless tried. But when it comes to this bank and its money, we're not going to blindly throw it away with you. If we don't see something having a chance of turning up a profit, we won't finance it, especially when it's for something run by someone with poor ethics. That's simple.
Stop all that bullcrap right now. Thinking you can harass me like that? You're not even going to go on a date with me now, and yet you still want to bully my dreams? Who the hell would ever want to cheat on their husband for someone as rotten as you? You can go ahead and stay with that toxic wife of yours and both go rot in hell. Sorry about my husband yesterday, Tiffany. No matter what the reasoning, someone should never make fun of another wants and dreams. I warned him not to do that again, okay? As for my bank, we want to help make sure that everyone is treated fairly when it comes to their money. So if you don't mind, next time come see me in person and we can talk about your dream. You and I were together back in college, so I promise to treat you well. Oh, so now the executive of that bank is going to be the one to talk with me about my business? Well, that must mean I'll get my money in no time, right? That is not all what I meant. Rather, I would be happy to offer my support if we can make a deal. So in return for me being kind enough about letting you work with us, I'd like you to start being honest with me. Let's start by talking about how years ago that husband of yours ran away from you, right? So right now you've been living in a load of debt all by yourself. What? If you are not going to be able to tell us everything about your financial situation, we're not going to be able to help you here. You hold on a second. Why? Why the hell are you aware of what happened with my husband and my debt? Well, I happen to be the executive of a very large and popular bank, right? And I happen to know about him because of that. I am also aware of the amount of money you currently have, and about when and where you're receiving and sending money. You happen to both still share some banking information with one another, so I can find out about you through it. Are you kidding me? But listen, I haven't been doing all of this looking through your history for a bad reason. We just happen to have to know as much about you as possible before considering you for financing. But don't forget, we also have to look into your personal history here, and I made sure to go through everything we found as diligently as I could. As diligently? When it comes to that amazing marriage you happen to have and bragged about, that is actually all a lie, right? You have actually been divorced from Jackson for over 5 years now. And when it happened, you didn't get any kind of money or properties from him. And ever since that happened, you have not been remarried and have been all alone. You tried so hard to make yourself look like you were living your best life as a housewife online, but because of that, you are now $60,000 in debt. And the amount of money in your bank account right now is only $3, right? No! So you found out freaking everything about the true me! I'm sorry, but having someone in your situation ask out for financial support and starting up that salon, well, it's going to become a real headache for us, I'm sure. You already happen to be in a terrible financial situation yourself, but also lied to my husband and I about your private life. If anything, you tried to commit fraud by doing all of that. What do you mean fraud? Who the hell cares that I did all that? I just wanted to start my dream business so that I could help cater those with lots of money and make a living. I already have a major following online and they all care about me without even having to know that I lost my husband. But the fact that you lied to us about your horrendous situation means that my bank will not help you. How about you tell all your followers the truth and maybe get some support from all of them? Tell them that you still have that dream, but need all their support to make it happen so that a lonely and poor woman like you can be happy too. You'll probably get a lot of them feeling bad for how desperate you are, and they'll do anything to give you a helping hand. But when the celebrities find out about how my salon started, they won't come. You are not going to get away with treating me like an idiot any longer. And the fact that you looked into my true self without my permission is not okay. I'm not treating you like an idiot if you've already been acting like one. And I went ahead and looked into the true you in order to try and help with your business dream. Yet, after all that time my bank and I put into looking you up, you saying that about me hurts. Ugh! I wish I had never ran into you in front of the bank like that. For Christ's sake, you and your screwed up husband are the worst. I don't give a dang about your bank support and I don't want to talk to you ever again. But you wanted to be the one getting support from me. Let me tell you right now that if you go out to anyone about my true life and started yapping about it, I'm going to kill you. I promise you that. After that, I never received another text from Tiffany ever again. And as for my husband, he was in the same boat as me, never having to get a text from her ever again. And after what happened between us, Tiffany's debt only continued to grow. And with that money she took out from loan sharks, began to start a business of her own catering to the wealthy. But each month, she only makes herself $300 as there are very few people coming to be around her, and I have enough to say that that is not enough money to keep the business going. And when she went online to tell all her followers to visit her, not a single one of them came. What makes this all worse is that she's leasing the current building she's in for $5,000 a month, and that's only causing her debt to grow even more. And at one point, one of the loan sharks waltzed into her salon to leave her a message, and that the next day the place was closed down and she was nowhere to be found.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.
Now, would you stop doing this already, Caroline? We are not your free daycare over here. My wife has been having to work all day long taking care of that kid, and she has no time to do anything besides that.
What?
All the time you're having my Jolene take him. I get that it's hard to be a parent at times, but come on. You can't just keep handing us your boy every time you don't have the time or patience for him. And that appears to be every freaking day now. Even the weekends. Do you not have even the slightest bit of common sense as a parent? If only Mum and Dad were still around, and then I could have them chew you out for this.
Oh, wait a second, Gavin. What are you going on about right now? I never left my kid with Jolene before in my life.
What? Oh, you have no right to be lying with that innocent attitude. You feel that you can just keep lying to me about this and have your kids stay over at our place all the time. Are you trying to tell me you don't care how much trouble you're causing your little brother and his wife now? We just got married, all right?
What?
We've only been married for 6 months over here. We were looking forward to married life and everything, but now we have to keep taking care of this little baby or toddler or whatever you call it for you. Jolene has been having a lot of trouble with it as well, so she's not able to get anything else done in the house now. Because of you, Caroline, my entire house has turned into a dump because we don't have the time to clean anything up. There are trash bags everywhere filled with nothing but diapers and soiled clothing lying around.
What? That's how bad things have become over there?
And you know whose fault all this is. Having this baby over at our house all the time takes away from our ability to clean anything. And it's the same thing for cooking, so the only thing I've been able to eat the past couple of months has been frozen TV dinners. If we don't get a break to take all this trash out, it's only going to get worse here and soon we'll be an actual dump. I did not get married to Jolene in order to have her be the one to take care of your kid.
Hey, Gavin. Can you please have a word with Jolene again about this? We have not been having her take care of our kid, all right? I understand that we weren't able to find a kindergarten this year, but we have made sure that there's daycare and all that while we're at work. Things have been like this since spring, all right? I promise you that whoever your wife is taking care of right now is not our child.
And I told you to cut the lying already. Are you done yet? If you bring that kid over here again and have my wife take them, then I'm not going to be as forgiving. Just because she's your sister-in-law doesn't mean you get to treat her like this.
Jolene, it's been a while since we last talked. I have something I'd like to ask you right now, actually. I just got a random text from Gavin saying not to have you take my child anymore there, but, what's this all about? What? Gavin went ahead and already started texting you? I was telling him not to drag you into this so many times. Can you please explain to me what's going on here? My husband and I have not once given you our child to take care of before, right? So whose child have you been taking care of so much lately? What? I'm sorry for causing you any trouble. Actually, ever since this spring, I've been taking care of my friend's kid. So ever since spring, you've had to take care of their kid every day? Yes. They weren't able to get their kid into a place to go for kindergarten, so they've had trouble handling things in their home with the kid. So as a way of supporting her and her husband, I've been taking care of their kid every day. That's very kind of you, but because of that, you've started to cause a lot of problems for your own marriage and household, right? From what Gavin has told me, the inside of the house is full of garbage now, and neither of you have been able to cook any. He told me there's just no time for you to manage the chores. That's just because I'm not quite used to taking care of a kid yet. But once I've gotten used to things, then I'm sure I can start to take care of things in the house as well. But from what Gavin told me, he has no clue why any of this is going on besides blaming it all on me. Why haven't you explained the situation to him yet so that he has a better understanding of it? Right now, he's been telling me that you've told him the kid is mine and that I've been the one leaving my kid there for you to take care of. And that's because there's just a lot of things to go with the story. Can you please just let me use you for a bit right now? What? If I have Gavin believing that it's your kid that I'm taking on all the time, then he won't be as upset with me over any of it. So in order to kind of hide the real situation from him, I'm using your name. Please don't get all upset with me over something as small as that. Excuse me, Jolene? Did I ever say I was upset with you? First of all, why do you have to hide the truth from Gavin? I don't understand why you can't just tell him you're helping a friend right now. If you keep labeling that kid as mine all the time, it's only going to make my brothers and my relationship worse. Just today was going off on me about that kid you're taking care of for your friend. And what do you want me to do about that? You don't have to understand why I'm hiding all of this from him anyway. Now I need to go. I have the kid over here again, so I'm busy. Wait, Jolene, so far we've gotten nowhere. We don't have to get anywhere, so just be quiet. And from now on, don't say anything useless to Gavin about any of this. You keep the fact that this is my friend's kid a secret from him.
You've really done it now by bringing your dang kid over here again. Did I not just yell at you about all of this yesterday? Honestly, I respect the nerve you have for doing something like this again.
Huh?
I never thought my own sister was the kind of woman who never cared about the trouble she causes others. You used to always be so nice to me and would never ever do anything to cause me any trouble, yet now. Or could this be a new way of picking on my wife? Do you really not like my wife that much that you'd force her to yet again take care of your crying kid?
I'm not picking on your wife, though. I have no reason to. I haven't even really had a chance to get to know her yet, so in all honesty, I can't judge her at all yet. And just like the other times, I have not taken my child over to your house today. Before you start blaming me again for that, why don't you have a word with your wife about it and really dig into her story a little? Ask her whose kid that really is, so go ahead and talk with her about all of this right now, please.
Huh? Whose kid that really is? That's your kid. Stop talking nonsense right now and hurry on over here and take it back. I was able to get the afternoon off work today and I was planning to take Jolene out on a date. But when I got home, that brat was bawling its eyes out.
And I have no idea what that's all about, right?
You can't just say that about your own kid. You've been leaving your kid over at my house every day for so many months now, alright? Was it that hard for you to give up your job after having the baby so that you can take care of it yourself? If you're required to work that badly, then maybe you shouldn't have had a kid in the first place, you moneyless lowlives.
Excuse me? Who did you just call poor and a lowlife?
I'm calling you and your husband that, you two low-life losers. That's why I was warning you before about this. I told you that marrying a factory worker like him would only lead to a future of nothing but hardships. Yet you never listened to a word I said and still married that dirty and moneyless factory worker anyway. And then you two idiots made a baby together. Now don't have any money to support it with, right?
You! Stop calling us lowlifes right now, Gavin! And you stop talking crap about my husband and his job right now. I've told you for a long time now to stop talking poorly about us, all right?
What? I'm not making fun of his job or anything. I'm just saying that he works a job where he has to get covered in filth all the time, sweating and smelling like a pig, just to come home with only some pocket change.
What did you say?
He's really such a shameful husband, isn't he? He's that old now, yet all he can do is work in a dirty factory. I'm sure he barely has any money in his savings, so compared to someone like myself, working for a major office here in town, he's nothing. And that's why you have to work as well in the relationship, because he doesn't bring in any meaningful amount of money. He really is such an embarrassment to men.
I'm not gonna listen to this anymore, you dickhead. Do you ever talk about my husband like that when you're the one being played again?
Hey. I'm the one that shouldn't have to listen to you, you cunt. Look, right now Jolene and I are victims that have been wrapped into my low-life sister and her husband's problems now. Perhaps it was all a lie about you never being able to find a kindergarten for the brat. You both just can't afford to send your kid there right now, and that's why you have to rely on Jolene and I.
Huh?
I mean, your husband is at a factory, right? If he was working an office job like myself right now, he'd have the money to pay for your brat to go to kindergarten, right? But you two moneyless losers don't even have the money for that.
Not only have you not been listening to anything I tell you, but now you're just going to start assuming we're people like that. I can't hold my tongue anymore.
That's how I'm feeling right now. If you can't even pay for a babysitter to take care of your little brat, then you shouldn't be having kids at all. This will only mean that in the future your kid's going to live a very terrible life with you both. I feel so bad for the little runt. Having to be raised in the slums with you two means he'll never amount to anything either in life.
Huh?
Alright? This is my last time telling you to take that brat home. It's totally screwed up of you having your sister-in-law and I take care of that kid for so dang long now. We're not going to be taking care of some poor couple's little brat any longer.
Are you aware that my child is a girl?
What?
So would you go freaking talk to your stupid wife about this already instead of belittling and blaming your sister and her husband? Right now, my husband and I have been doing all we can to take care of our cute little girl. We would never in our entire lives have someone like you who thinks it's okay to talk down to others like that. Take care of our very important little girl.
Wait a second. What? Your kid is a girl, is that so?
So you don't even remember the gender of your older sister's kid? You must be so exhausted from having to work as a paper pusher in that office all the time and have forgotten a lot of things. Well, thank God you were able to get the whole afternoon off today because of all that hard work, right? Then go and have yourself a well-deserved nap, and once you wake up, go and talk to your disgraceful wife. You ask that woman you happen to love so much where the hell that kid came from and whose it is.
So you're telling me that brat isn't yours after all?
That's what I've been saying this whole time, you dickhead. Now you two figure out that problem yourselves.
Caroline, things are not good here. That brat was never yours to begin with.
Well, it's about time someone caught up with everyone else in the class. So your loving wife Jolene has finally spilled the truth out for you, and now you're aware that the kid is her friend's?
Huh? Her friend's kid? So that's the lie she was giving you before?
Wait, that was a lie?
This isn't her friend's kid, Caroline. That kid she's been taking care of every day has been hers. She was the one that gave birth to it.
Huh? What do you mean she gave birth to it? Was she ever married before you?
No, she wasn't. She couldn't have been. Her and I only got married a little while back, and she said I'm her first. But what I've been told is that she had a baby in secret before she married me. Apparently that kid she's been taking in every day is the kid she had with her ex-boyfriend.
So that's her and her ex's kid?
Back when she had been engaged to me, something happened between her and him. Because of that, she became pregnant. By the time she realised she was pregnant, though, it was already too late for her to do anything about it. So her only choice was to hide all that from me and have the baby in secret.
You're kidding me.
Now that I really think about it, things were a bit weird before our wedding. Jolene told me that she was busy dieting and getting things done for the wedding, so we couldn't really meet often. So all of that was to cover up her being pregnant, and she did that all the way until she had her baby.
So that's really the baby she had with her ex. I know it sucks that she was cheating on you with your ex before you guys got married, but there's always a chance that that's your kid.
There's no way that's mine. I mean, that kid she has with her right now has brown hair and brown eyes.
What?
When I asked her about her ex, she told me he was from Mexico. She showed me a picture of him as well, and that kid looks just like him. Even their faces are perfectly alike.
No way.
Right after having the baby, her ex ended up forcing her to take the baby, but she kept begging him to take it since she was just about to get married and wouldn't have the ability to take care of the kid. He took the baby for a little bit, but soon after he started to bring it to our house all the time, telling her there was no way he could raise it on his own. That's why she's been having to take care of the kid during the day, while she has her ex take the kid home with him at night.
And to keep that all under wraps, she told me it was just her friend's baby. And to you, she kept saying it was your older sister's baby.
Caroline, what should I be doing here? Right now, Jolene is crying and begging me not to divorce her, and she wants us to take the kid for good. She said there is no reason to give her baby back to that ex of hers anymore. She wants the two of us to raise it.
Isn't that great, though? You happen to work for a major office, like you said, so you wouldn't be troubled by having to pay for one kid. It's just one little boy, right?
What are you talking about? I have no relation to that kid at all. And while engaged to me, Jolene was going back to have sex with her ex. You really think I can take care of that kid when it has her ex's DNA in it?
Then why not get a divorce? If you don't want the kid, that's your only other option.
Don't say something like that so easily. We only just got married half a year ago. I've gotten a lot of gifts and money from all of my friends and co-workers. If I divorce her now, and over a reason like that, I'm going to be embarrassed for myself forever.
Why is all that pride getting in your way right now? Well, it has nothing to do with me. So because of that, you can leave me out of your mess and settle it between the two of you. I'm going to get back to work.
Hey, hold on a second. Your little brother is in a lot of trouble right now. This is not the time for you to be getting back to work.
I really do feel bad for you, but to be honest, I don't want to care about your situation anymore.
What?
I'm tired of having to be involved in something I have nothing to do with. I tried so many times already to tell you that the kid was not mine. You never even bothered to listen to me. And what really soured things between you and I today is the fact that you started talking poorly about my husband and his job. Yet you have not once apologized for any of that yet, and that's why I really don't care about you anymore.
Yeah, that was...
Well, right now I don't want to hear your apologies. I'm not in the mood to forgive you. I understand completely now how my little brother thinks about his older sister and her husband. Now I need to get back to work here in order to take care of my moneyless, dirty factory worker husband. Please Please, Caroline, do you think you could please take care of my kid and keep him over at your house for a little while? What? If you can do that for me, you'll be able to raise both a boy and a girl. They happen to be close in the same age, so it'll be like raising twins. All right? So you'll take him, right? Wait. No way in hell. Who the hell wants your kid? Either you get my brother to calm down and take care of him with you, or you guys get that divorce and you handle him yourself. I don't like either of those options, and that's why I'm asking you to help. Please allow me to get your help with this as well. Excuse me? I do not want a divorce from Gavin. He works for a large company that makes such decent money, and he's allowed me to be his housewife even. You think that I'd want to be tossed out by a man like that? I was assuming that you were into your ex more than you were into Gavin, so why not go back to him? My ex is a bastard. He never actually bothers to get himself a real job and instead just bums around for money. And whenever I'm around him, he's always asking me for money. That's why I chose Gavin and got married to him. Then why were you cheating on Gavin with your ex? Had you been faithful to your fiancé at the time, then you never would have ended up with that kid. And that would mean you wouldn't have had to worry about a divorce from Gavin right now. I had no choice at the time, all right? His face is way too good for me to pass up. What a freaking joke. I didn't think a few more times sleeping with him would end up getting me pregnant. Maybe one time he did me raw and that's what got me pregnant. And once I had the baby, it didn't look anything like Gavin, so I told my ex to take it since it was his fault. But out of nowhere, after getting married, my ex came back telling me to take care of the kid as well for him. What the hell was he thinking? I'm kind of in shock right now, learning just how much of a horrible person you really are. By the way, the one who really should be to blame for this is all you, Caroline. You didn't do anything for me. I asked you not to say anything to Gavin about this, but you told him anyway. It's because of that he figured all of this stuff out about me and the kid and is wanting a divorce now. Hold it right there. You're gonna blame me for all of that now? I get that I might be to blame for a small portion of this, but you need to take most of the blame here. Your cute little sister-in-law was having a stressful time and just needed you to help her, and so all you had to do was freaking help my butt out. You were no help to me and couldn't even keep that secret away from Gavin for me. It's all because of you that Gavin and I might have to get a divorce. Hey! So you take responsibility for all of this and take the dang kid. If you take this dang brat off our hands right now, then everything will go back to normal for me. As long as this brat is out of the house, then Gavin will rethink wanting to have a divorce and I'll be okay. Shut the hell up, you freaking whore! Jolene, you cut it all with all the BS right now! Shut up! I don't care what you think, so just take this freaking kid away. I'll give you whatever money you need for it, of course. I have a lot that I saved up from when I was single, so I can give you around $100,000 to take this brat away. You won't complain about that now, will you? $100,000? I knew something like money would get you to bite. Your husband being a low-life factory worker must be really tough on you, right? What? So there you go. The deal has been made. He's my cute little son, so make sure to take very good care of him for me. I'll be giving you the $100,000 as well now, so if anything, you should be thanking me for this. To a couple moneyless cave dwellers like you, all this money is a huge deal, right? Consider yourselves very lucky. I'm sure that's a lot of money to you, but to me, that's chump change. Huh? In other words, I'm not taking some measly $100,000 in your son. Actually, no matter how much you try to bribe me, I'm not taking him. What do you mean, measly $100,000? Chump change? This is more than your stupid husband can make in 2 years, right? You're the freaking moneyless losers here, so stop trying to make yourselves look good by saying no to this money. We make enough money in a year where we could drop $500,000 right now and not worry about it. Oh, what? I'm sorry, but those dirty factory workers you call poor make a lot of money. But just because they get a little dirty, everyone wants to make fun of them. My husband happens to be a very hard worker and will break a sweat no matter if it's 100 degrees in the factory or 0. Because of all of his hard work so far, we have around $12 million in our savings. Just last year, he made around $750,000 in that factory. It's far more than just some lowlife then, right? $750,000 just last year? What? He makes that kind of money in a single year? Well, he happens to work in a factory that manufactures elements for the military, and anytime they finish their contract ahead of schedule, they get some massive bonuses from the government. So for all of his and his colleagues' hard work, they make bank. And I mean bank. What? And did I forget to mention he runs his own department in that factory? That's another thing that goes into the money he's making. Also, you have to remember that I'm working as well now. This year, I was able to make around $400,000 with bonuses included. You're kidding! The two of you are making that much money every year? We are. So giving us $100,000 to take your son off of you? I don't think so. My husband and I don't need another child right now, or that little bit of cash you have to offer. Oh, wait a minute. What the hell is going on here? I mean, Gavin has always been making fun of you and your husband this whole time I've been together with him, calling you both lowlifes and calling you both poor. That's why I thought by giving you this $100,000, you guys would be able to take the kid. Well, I'm sorry to say we won't be taking your kid. So now that you're aware of my husband's and my current situation, you can go ahead and figure out your problems with Gavin. Of course, this also means you both need to stop coming to me with your problems. No way. What should I do? This was the only plan I had in mind. I'm no longer able to get in touch with my ex, so you're the only person I can ask to help. What? Is that so? Well, I don't really care. Stop getting me involved in your guys' problems, please. Do you understand? It's time you become a good little wife and took responsibility for the problems you've made. After taking some time to finally talk about what they were going to do, both Jolene and my brother decided on getting a divorce. Having just had to divorce his wife, who he'd only been with for half a year, after learning his wife had been cheating on him, as well as learning about how his sister and her husband both made way more than himself, Gavin went into complete shock. This toppled his enormous pride that was the size of Mount Everest and left him a husk of his former self. One could say that the life he lives now is much like that of a living dead man, and I'm sure that's the right term for him. And when it came to how things have gone for Jolene, she took her son and went back to her parents' house. However, due to the reason she gave for the divorce and the fact that she showed up on their doorstep with a baby they'd never seen before, both her parents freaked out on her. This then led to both her parents going out and searching for her failure of an ex-boyfriend, and when they found him, they forced him to marry their daughter so that they could both take care of the responsibility. As of now, those newlyweds are living at Jolene's parents' home, where two of them are both working part-time jobs in order to save up enough to move out. And while they do that, her parents take care of their grandkid. When that day comes that they do have the money to find their own place, there's no doubt in my mind that her parents will force them out instantly. Finally, when it comes to my husband and I, we've both been able to get back to our lives now that I'm no longer wrapped up in that disgraceful couple's life. This year is really looking good for the both of us in terms of work again, so we're expecting another $1 million by the time the year's over. And you know what? I think that means next year we're going to both take our daughter on a trip with some of that money. Somewhere exotic. Or maybe just Mouseland.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.